Well guys, we have another quick one here from the US election, where Republican canvassers have rescinded an early vote to certify the results in Michigan, because reports claim they only agreed to certify Wayne County results on the basis that a full audit was completed. It turns out the Democrats never planned to audit anything and just used it as a ruse to get the certification that they wanted. Now the Republican canvassers have signed affidavits alleging they was bullied and misled into approving the results, and state they do not think the results should be certified until serious irregularities in Detroit are resolved, because apparently members of the public threatened them and their families, which is pretty disgusting, but not surprising for the Democrats at this point, let's be honest here. Now Breitbart picked up on the story, and their headline in it, Republican canvassers rescind their votes to certify Wayne County, Michigan results. 2 Republican members of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers in Michigan rescinded their votes to certify the election results, saying Wednesday they were bullied into changing their original votes and state authorities had refused to conduct an audit. Which obviously, if true, is fucking disgusting, and since they have put signed affidavits in, I would suggest they might well be telling the truth, though of course people have still lied. But given what we have seen over the past couple of weeks, it really wouldn't surprise me if they're telling 100% the truth. It goes on though, as Breitbart News reported Tuesday, the board originally deadlocked 2-2 along partisan lines and failed to certify the result because of discrepancies between ballots and voter rolls. But after public abuse and threats, and with the video streamed down, the 2 Republicans agreed to change their vote, saying that they were promised state authorities would audit the results, where they reported in an extraordinary turnabout that foreshadows possible legal action. The 2 got members of Wayne County's election board signed affidavits Wednesday night alleging they were bullied and misled into approving election results in Michigan's largest metropolis, and do not believe the vote should be certified until serious irregularities in Detroit are resolved. The statement by Wayne County's Board of Canvassers chairwoman Monica Parla and fellow GOP member William C. Hartman rescinded their votes from a day earlier threw into question anew whether Michigan's presidential vote, currently favoring Democrat Joe Biden, will be certified. They also signaled a possible legal confrontation ahead. The pronouncement come just 24 hours after a chaotic meeting in which the county's election board initially failed to certify the November 3rd election results during a 2-2 deadlock vote when both Palmer and Hartman voted against certification. But after hours of contentious public comment and criticism, including Democrat allegations of racism and threats against their safety, the 2 GOP members struck a deal to certify the election in return for a promise of a thorough audit. So there you can see it appears there was a deal going on that they would certify the results, obviously if they were checked properly, which should be the case anyway, let's be honest here. You shouldn't have to agree to shit, that should just be the way it is done. But maybe it wasn't just the public who were actually threatening these people, perhaps it was also Democratic Party members and God knows who else. Either way, I think you will all agree that it's fucking disgusting. Palmer and Hartman have each submitted affidavits. Palmer, the board's chair, said in her affidavit that more than 70% of Detroit's 134 absent voter ballot counting boards did not balance. She then voted not to certify the result. So there's something definitely up there with the absentee voting shit, which is something everyone's been saying anyway. But if you're CNN or anyone else, there is apparently no evidence of this in their mind. Or should we say there is no evidence that they're willing to accept in their mind because they need old Sleepy Joe to be the winner. She added, after the vote, public comment period began and dozens of people made personal remarks against me and Mr. Hartman. The comments made accusations of racism and threatened me and my family. She said that she was advised that she could not oppose the certification and that voting to certify would result in a full, independent audit of Detroit's unbalanced precincts. She later learned that Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson did not view the agreement as binding on her. Consequently, Palmer said she was rescinding her vote, because obviously the Secretary of State does not want anyone to look through it. The question really needs to be, why is that? I think we all probably know. Hartman said that he agreed to certify the results after being berated and after being told by Wayne County Council that the discrepancies in the vote were insufficient reason not to certify the result. He added that he was promised that the state would audit the results, but later learned that Benson had no intention of doing so. It's not clear whether the decision to rescind the votes after the fact has any legal value. Litigation is likely to follow. Well, I'm sure it will will have some legal value if, like they say, they have been bullied into it, because it appears the entire election over there is a complete shit show. You might have CNN and everyone else running around, there's no evidence of election fraud or anything like this, when it actually turns out there's probably no evidence of a free and fair election. The way it is looking, it certainly seems that way to me, because I'm sure most of you have already seen we're also having reports that apparently Donald Trump won 400 electoral votes at the last election, but we're being lied to and the media are trying to cover it up. This would not really surprise me in the slightest. Let's be honest, it's the fucking media. But it really does go to show this whole situation just how corrupt the media and the Democratic Party really are. But like I've said, not that that is a surprise to absolutely anyone.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires. And that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going and we are glad to be going. We're off.